Hi, welcome to the OT tip of the month. On our team, we've been having conversations with our therapists that support middle school and high school students, and there's been a theme across the board that teachers are really looking to us for strategies to keep their students awake and alert. They've seen a lot of students sleeping in class and have concerns about sluggishness and tiredness. We certainly can talk to teachers about having more movement breaks in their classroom to stay alerted and awake, or using bright lights or louder music. But really it comes down to a lack of sleep and thinking about how can we really get to the root of the problem with helping parents and students recognize the importance of sleep and how much sleep they need and what we can do as teachers to promote that. So I wanted to share with you some information. This comes from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, these statistics about how much sleep is really required for our students. And unfortunately, according to the CDC, about 72% of middle school students and 72% of high school students and 50% of middle school students do not get this recommended amount of sleep, between 9 to 12 hours for that younger group and 8 to 10 hours for our 13 to 18-year-olds. Now, if we're not getting the right amount of sleep, this really can negatively impact our students. It affects their focus and concentration. They're more at risk for poor academic performance and also at risk for more health issues like type 2 diabetes, obesity, or mental health issues. So we really do want to promote adequate sleep with our students. And you might be thinking, Heather, I'm not at their house. I cannot put these children to bed. And I certainly recognize that you are teachers, but what we can do is we can educate our parents. So first of all, if you're noticing a student really consistently sleeping in your class, or there's a change of behavior, they had been alert and awake most of the year, and now, they're just falling asleep all the time, your first step is to really connect with parents, whether by phone or email, and say, hey, I'm noticing this with your student. Tell me more about how much sleep they're getting. Tell me about their bedtime routine, and just kind of encourage parents to have a set bedtime routine for their students, a set consistent bedtime. Each day, that consistency is going to be more helpful for students. And also encouraging parents to set limits on media and screen time right before they go to bed. So one of the things that you can do is educate your students about their sleep. There's this great website I want to share with you here that's called sleepeducation.org, and I'll put a link in the description. And it has some really great resources for educators to talk about sleep. Here at the top, they have some posters you can certainly put in your room. But what I'm really impressed with is that they have these lesson plans already set up for you. So if you teach health and wellness, if you teach science, there's some great options here for lesson plans to talk about sleep and educate your students. And even if you don't formally do a lesson on sleep, you can have conversations in advisory, you can have conversations one-on-one and help your students to really see the importance of sleep and how it's impacting them. Here at the bottom of this website, I also want to point out that they have a couple of classroom presentations. I think this dangers of drowsy driving is such an important topic for our high school students to learn about that danger, because lack of sleep and driving can really be detrimental to our students. So this is an excellent resource that you can tap into to support your lesson planning. The next thing that you can do is to think about how your lessons are structured within the classroom. So if you are being more active, if you're having students do more hands-on activities with multimodal, so they're maybe building something, they're working in a group, they're doing partner work, an activity like is here on the screen where they're putting up Post-it notes related to an activity. By being more active, it's going to keep your students more engaged and alert, which kind of leads to the next bullet point of changing activities more frequently within your class period. So again, the goal is to keep students awake, alert, and engaged, and those are two ways to do that. One thing to avoid is that last bullet point that says to not have really long movies or turning down the lights for an extended period of time, that of course is going to increase sleepiness and increase the opportunity for sleep in class. So there is a time and place for movies and videos, but just being mindful of how long they're running. Do you turn the lights all the way out or leave the lights up, or just, turn a portion of the lights out? So I hope that you found this information informative about the importance of sleep and have some practical tools that you can use to help support your students and for them to improve their sleep habits and hopefully be more alert and awake and engaged in learning.